everyone. Welcome to Allan's Masters Powerlifting, the sober powerlifting journey. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome. Today I did bench press. Karen turned out okay. Better than last time's bench that I did last Saturday. That pretty much sucked, man. But I ended up with a 385 pause bench. 365 was the first set, paused. Very slight pause on that first one, almost just letting it settle a little tiny bit. And then 315 for 8. All of those were paused. Okay, so it was better this time than last Saturday. The bench, it turned out pretty good. I really like that 315 for 8. All of them paused, full reps too, full extension, no half reps. I don't even find it that much harder really to do a full rep than like to stop short of lockout. I don't find it that much harder. Hey, how you doing, Mike? Did you work out tonight, Mike? Tonight I did bench, ended up pretty good. I always start off with just the bar. I started off with just the bar, and just do reps with that, get the blood pumping. Actually, I start off with 25-pound dumbbells and do flies with it, with the 25-pound dumbbells. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Then I just go to the bar. I do some reps, get some blood pumping. The bar will, you want to work on your setup with just the bar, you know what I mean? It's a 45-pound bench bar. Work on your setup, pause rep it. Then I go to do 2 sets of 135, and I work on the setup as well on all the reps, Hello, how you doing, Bachelor Monkeys? So I will go to 135 for 2 sets, just do a few reps with that, 10 reps or so. Sometimes I'll just do touch and go with it, Today, since I'm working on all pause reps, well, welcome from India, yep. I do all pause reps today because my competition is on, hell yeah, of course. Yeah, welcome from Ireland. Competition's going to be July 12th in Natick, Massachusetts. It's about a 55-minute drive from my house. So, okay, I start off with the bar, like I was saying, since everybody's showing up now. Start off with the bar. Then I go to 135, 2 sets of that. I'm talking about the bench press right now. So I don't know what it is in kilograms, but it's 135, which would be divided by 2.2 to find out kilograms. I go to 225 after 135, 2 sets of that with a few reps of that. I'm pausing everything right now because I'm competing in less than a month. It's going to be a full power lifting meet. Then I go to 315. I just do one set of that, 1 rep, paused. Then I went to 365. I did 1 rep with that. And then I went right up to 385. I did a pause rep with that. That went up pretty fast. Then I dropped right down to 315, and I did 8 perfect pause reps. It's 345 plates on each side. It's 315. 3 of them. I know in kilograms, the 345, the 3 big plates on each side is a little bit less. It's like 310, I think. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Yep. I'm going to open up, I think I'm just going to open up with 360 on the bench. It's RPS. I have all the records for RPS. I have all 4 records. There are 4 possible records in powerlifting. You have the squat is first, bench, deadlift, and the total. I have all 4 records for RPS. I did an RPS meet over a year ago. I was 50, I think I was 56 years old when I did it. 56 years old, or I might have been 55. I might have been 55. I don't know. All I know, it was in the 55 to 59 age group. And I broke all 4 records, most of it on the first attempt. They were very easy records for me. Like, for instance, the squat, I did it on my second attempt. I did 500 pounds on my second attempt. Welcome, everybody. Welcome from Dominica, beautiful country. Uh, and then the bench is always next in powerlifting after the squat. And the record, I don't know what it was, like 340 or something like that. And I beat it on my opening attempt. I was injured. It was just over a year ago. I was injured. I had a pulled muscle in here. So I just ended at 370 pounds, which broke the record already, you know. So on my second attempt. Then on the deadlift, I broke it on the first attempt. It was 520 or something like that. I just did 525 on my opener. I ended up with 575, and I broke. Of course, if you break all three records, you break the total, which is the total of three lifts. So this is coming up RPS. So I have all the records. I am going to break all of my records. Hopefully, the only one I might get snagged up on is a deadlift. I know I'm going to beat the total. Stop the cap. What the hell is that, James? Welcome, Nick Gurr. Welcome. I had an amazing day. Yeah, I had a bench. I benched today. My best sets were 385 pause bench, and then 315 for 8. All of them perfect pause reps. Full extension, no half reps, you know. I can actually do almost the same not locking it out as I can locking it out, pretty much. Yeah. Welcome, Nick Herr. Nick, is that how you say it? Nick Herr. Welcome. But yeah, today was a good workout, like I said. I'm hoping with a 1,500 plus total for my age group, 55 years old. From there, just barriers. Important thing is that we're all human beings. Yes, that's true. Welcome from Morocco. Welcome. I almost went there. I went to Gibraltar one time. Yeah, welcome everybody. God bless everybody. But that's the plan. Tomorrow is going to be squat day. And I'm thinking about going to about 530 pounds on the squat. That's what I'm thinking about going to 535 on the squat tomorrow, and then maybe dropping down to 415. Oh, you're third on the right. Well, sorry to hear that. Hope you heal quickly. Yeah, that happens to a lot of people. I'm blessed. My shoulders are still very strong. No issues at all. No problems ever. 57 years old. 57 years old. I still can bench about over 400 pounds. I never had any problems. The only thing I ever had, I tore my hamstring a couple of times, and I've torn my groin twice. I don't have a routine for shoulders. Once in a while, I'll just do some shoulder presses. The secret is you don't want to overdo it on your shoulders. Yeah, stay strong. Yeah, you don't want to overdo it all in the shoulders. You know, you get a lot of shoulder activity when you're benching and doing incline. So I try not to do too much. I don't even do too many. It's good to add it for an accessory once in a while, though, like a shoulder press or whatever. I'm a power lifter, so I have the dumbbells over here. I like to do dumbbell presses over here. Like I got this rack of dumbbells for free. So my friend of mine I went to high school gave me this rack of dumbbells. It goes to 80 pounds. I would like to get 100 pounds and then 110-pound dumbbells, so I can do some incline dumbbell presses and stuff. Yeah. Doing incline and decline, pec deck. Yeah, they can ruin your shoulders. I was warned, man. Yeah, pec deck and flies, pretty much a waste, right, for powerlifting. That's all you really need. I have a 56-inch chest, you know. Sorry, no, more than that. 58-inch chest, actually. Yeah, at my age, yeah, incline bench can pretty much toast. Your shoulders are going to end up toast if you keep doing them, pretty much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, you're right, though. I was doing incline for a while. You know, it's okay to touch it once in a while and do it. But I was warned by Jim Ford. He's the president of the American Powerlifting Association. He's actually in this picture right now. But he warned me about incline, not to do too much because I'm going to toast my shoulders. That's Jim right there. We both got inducted into the American Powerlifting Association Hall of Fame. That's the certificate right there. My Hall of Fame certificate. I think. Is that it? No, that's for the squat. I'm sorry. Where's the Hall of Fame? Is that squat? That's the squat. I don't know. Oh, I know where it is. It's in my room. I'm getting old. I'm getting a little dementia. That's for the squat, a world record. This one's for the deadlift, I think. For deadlift, 600-pound deadlift I did a few years ago. I'm getting old. The Hall of Fame certificate's on my wall in my bedroom. I'd like to shout out Nick Herr. Shout out to Nick Herr. Seal Power, yep. All right. 531, that's a pretty good program. The Wendler, yeah, it works, 5 reps, 3 reps, 1 rep. Perfect, really. I might have to do some of that in the off season when I'm done with this competition. No, there's no asbestos in here. No asbestos at all. No. It's insulation, but it's a safe, new kind of insulation that's in here. There's no asbestos. They don't put asbestos in any kind of insulation these days. This shed was only built about 8 years ago. What is the routine split for upcoming competition? The routine I usually do is I'm just rotate. I do bench, then squat, and then deadlift, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll bench again, squat, and then I only deadlift once every 7 or 8 days, and I squat, try to squat once every 5 days, 6 days, and then I bench twice a week. That's it right there. Yeah, I bench twice a week, squat. Yeah, so the squat is usually just once a week, and the deadlift once. Deadlift is definitely once every 7 days, though. No less than that. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, that's what I do. You want to have enough recovery time. You don't grow in the gym when you're working out. You don't grow. You grow when you are resting. You tear down the muscles, and then you rest. Also, you have something called the CNS, which is the central nervous system. And if you tax that too much by grinding it out all the time and doing heavy negatives and shit, you're going to end up burning yourself out and tearing something. You don't want to tear anything. You don't want to get injured. It's not the name of the game, You're not a hero for doing that kind of shit, It's just going to set you back. You don't want to do that, grinding it out all the time, you know what I mean? You want to leave, I say leave a half a rep in the tank at the least. Or at the most, I guess, right. Come on, dude. Don't ask stupid questions like that, or I'm gonna block you, Da King, or whatever your name is. I'll just block you. No stupid questions. This is a serious powerlifting and sober channel, just to let everybody know. So yeah, usually I'll just block the dumb people in here that ask childish questions. I do a regular deadlift, 600 pounds. Yeah, okay. Well, then go somewhere else and if it's weird. Yeah, okay, you're blocked. That's okay. I'm going to block a few people. Blocked. We don't... Right. What happened to this one? Oh, that one's gone too. I don't know about the G6. That's a political question, I think. Well, yeah, I just blocked a couple people. It's just don't ask stupid questions. I'll just block you for life if you're too stupid to ask anything serious, about being gay. Stupid shit, Yeah, board presses are okay. I'd like to get... no, I haven't done them in years, actually, but they're good to do. Because I'm alone, I need to... yeah, they're perfect for bench. I bench alone, so I can buy them where you can fit it right on the bar. You know what I mean? No offense, man. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there are some weird people in the comment section, Rahul. I agree. Yeah. No problem. Yeah, I do. A power jack. Yeah. What do you mean for deadlifts? I'll show you my deadlift platform. I'll show. Let me take a tour. Let's take a tour of my little gym. Let's do that. Okay. No, no. Let me. I'll show you what I do. I'll show you what I do. You don't have to be careful when you're in a power rack at all. You have to be careful anyways, but if you're in a power rack, yeah, let me explain this to everybody before I do the tour of the gym. If you're in a power rack, let me turn this around. This is the power rack here. Those are safety bars right there. It's set up to where if the bar falls from arm's length, it's going to land on those bars right there. If you have one spotter behind you, now I've seen it happen a few times to my friend, I forgot it, what the hell is his name? McBean, James McBean, Jimmy McBean. You can look him up, the Scottish powerlifting channel there. He had 430. He had 430 pounds. He had a guy behind him, and he lost the bar at arm's length. Now, granted, he's 62 years old. He had, I think it was 430 on the bar. He lost the bar at arm's length. Now, that happened to me 20 years ago. No, try 30 years ago. I lost it 315 at arm's length. There's nothing a guy behind you is going to do to stop that. Nothing. Yeah, nothing he can do. So, you know, I got the power rack right here with the safety bars. That you don't have to be, you're better off benching alone than having a guy behind you without those. Now, if you have a guy behind you to spot you and those, that's even better. But okay, here's my gym. Okay, deadlift platform. I'm standing on it right now. There's my deadlift jack right here. And I have a Texas deadlift bar. Here's the jack right here. Right there, see? Deadlift jack. Some of my trophies that are in here. A few of them. Best lifter award. I was the oldest competitor. Right there. Best lifter award. Some old trophies I have back in here. My fan, my little radio. I have some CDs, but I play mostly music on Bluetooth. Yeah, some pictures I have, you know, as me. There's Frank Zane. Me and Mike Birch, my buddy Mike Birch, one of my best friends in the world. That's Mike Birch again, benching. Yeah. Vinny Vardine, who passed away a couple of years ago. Greg Boyd, who played football, very close friend, played with the Patriots. Right there. All right, then my power rack I already showed you. Banded bench presses are good. No, I haven't done them in a long time. I do have them. Okay, there is my bench right there. I bought this brand new from Titan not too long ago. I'm actually still paying for it. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, Rahul. Appreciate it, yeah. Yeah, I have bands. I have to break them out and do them. They're in here. I have them in here. Right here, see? Whoop. These are the bands. Right here. I used to have longer ones, but they broke. Those are the short ones right there. You hook them up to a big dumbbell on the floor, and you put it on the bar. Some iron. Right here. That's a Texas deadlift bar, the one in front there. The other one behind it's an old bar that I have had for years. That's a Texas deadlift bar. It's 55 pounds right there. Some iron. I bought this nice bench bar. It's perfect for bench. And I got the monolift for Christmas. It's a Titan monolift. I got this not too long ago, the rack. Dumbbell rack right here. Goes to 80 pounds. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Talk to you later, brother. I'm 57 years old, Raul. Dumbbells are all over the place. Now, I actually have another bench. It's a good commercial gym bench. It's behind that ladder right there. I took it apart. It takes up too much room, and I don't really use it. It's right there. Very nice bench, though. That's a Viking press. I'm going to reset it up probably over here. I was right here before the Viking press. I would bang my head on it. It's too much, so I took it down. Over here, I have some old school squat racks right here. They're from the 1960s. from the 1960s. An old school seated calf machine. I'm gonna have to break that son of a bitch out soon. Start using it, you know. I have a bar that slides in there. You can add a lot of weight. An old school hack squat machine. I don't use it too much. Built for a smaller guy, really. There's another squat rack I have. I took apart. 2 more bars. Plenty of iron, you know. Plenty of iron. Some curl bars. That's all I really need, you know. That's all I need. No, I'm not on TRT. I thought about it though. You know, there's nothing wrong with TRT for someone that's my age. I'm just an old guy that likes to lift in his shed, you know. A family guy. A family guy. I am a family man. I enjoy my family. I have animals. I love animals. I have a dog, a little dog. It's a puggle, pot beagle and pug. 4 cats. I have 4 cats. And a nice house, you know. Sobriety has brought me many gifts in life, you know. Many gifts being sober. I had nothing before I got sober. Yeah, I had nothing before I got sober in 2015, or January 11th, 2015. I had absolutely nothing. I had nobody left in my life. My family pretty much abandoned me because I was too much of a pain in the ass. Every time I called them, all I wanted was money. You know, they had cut me off, my family. I had no friends before I got sober. This was in 2014. No friends. I living in a little motel. I had been homeless before that for many years, on and off homeless. I was living in a homeless shelter before I had the flea bag I call it a flea bag motel. It was a little $130 a week motel. Yeah, you're right. Addiction was hell. It was absolute hell. I've been sober for over a decade and 6 months. So I had absolutely nothing to my name, and I ended up going to getting locked up for the first 10 and a half months of my sobriety. I've been out. I got out. I had 10 and a half months of sobriety. I remember I was going to meetings when I got out, AA meetings, and I can remember my first chip I picked up was the 11-month chip. Thank you. I appreciate. That's my buddy. He's my buddy right there, Vincenello. Thank you, Minathon. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Dread Measures. I appreciate that. So now we're talking a little bit about sobriety now, you know, about the gifts of sobriety. I'm going to block you, Elisa, whatever your name is. You can be, no. Goodbye. I don't want to talk about my walls, so you're blocked for life. Goodbye. Yeah, okay. Now back on track. We're talking about sobriety right now and the gifts of sobriety. And the evils of addiction, what they can do to a person. I'm sure even if you're not an addict, you have a friend or a family member that's suffered that, you know. Thank you. I appreciate it again, Raul. I'm sure somebody's had a family member, or, you know, maybe they dabbled in something themselves, you know. Sorry, I just had to evict the person. I don't want to talk about my ceiling and my walls in here, really, to be honest with you. I can talk about, if I want to talk about that, we can talk about how fast paint dries, you know. That's about how exciting it is. But anyways, like I said, I got sober in a prison in Southern Illinois in Yeah, it was Southern Illinois. My first stop was West Frankfort Police Station. I had my last drink of 2011, 2015. He used to smoke ganja. Oh yeah, it's not addictive. Yeah, oh, it is addictive. Pretty much, depending on the person. Hello, Bruno. Depending on the person, if it affects your life, like I have people in my life that smoke all the time, and they function, but they don't get anything out of life, man. They settle for less. They have no goals usually. They get lazy in life, you know what I mean? I'd rather not do it myself. I'd rather set goals. I wouldn't be able to accomplish anything if I was smoking weed. Now, that's just me. There's plenty of people out there that can smoke it successfully, you know, I guess. But people in my life, they can't really. Whey protein's okay. It's all right. I just bought some the other day. Happy Tuesday. Yep. Creatine's okay. It's not a miracle thing, though. It's in food. You can get it in salmon and stuff. Pre-workout, I like it. A half a scoop before I work out. Just regular, what do they call that one? I forgot the name of it. You can get it at Walgreens, you know. Yeah, eggs are great. Eggs. I eat eggs every day. Every day. Yeah, that's it. C4, that's what I buy. Exactly. Philistines fan 1. Yep, I buy the C4. Good enough, you know. A half a scoop, maybe a full scoop here and there. I don't really need it. The older I get, I don't really need that much, you know. Yeah, it is good stuff. I just had a scoop before I worked out. About 3/4 of a scoop, you know. I am from a place called North Dayton, Massachusetts. It's about 40 miles outside of Boston. It's about a 30-mile drive to the coast. Actually, like Providence is like 30 miles away too. Providence, Rhode Island. Southeastern Massachusetts is a good way of putting it. It's about 4 hours to New York City. I could get to Fenway in less than an hour from here, depending on traffic. Yeah, I'm a Sox fan. Not a heavy one. I used to be very, very much into it. I watched as a kid, like in elementary school. This is before, you know, kind of before cable. I guess cable was out too, but they only had half the games on TV, and I'd listen to the other half on the radio. Devers trade. I really haven't been following it much. I guess he wanted to get traded. The team's not. I don't know how they're doing right now. I heard they won a few games in a row, but the last couple of years I haven't really been on top of it. I am a fan, though. I always have been since the early 1970s, actually. And a Pats fan, and a Bruins fan, and a Celtics fan. Always have been, you know. Yeah, I used to listen to him on the radio. Yes, I've been to Philadelphia a few times. Yep. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Christy. I really appreciate it. That's very nice. Yeah, they did beat them, and then they lost the Knicks, and the Knicks lost. It looks like, what the hell is the name of that team is going to win? Who won last night? Was there a game last night? Yeah, I think, what the hell's the name? Did the Pacers win or lose? I think they lost, right? Did the Pacers win or lose last night? I was hoping the Pacers would win, but I don't think so, you know. I'm not sure, though. I'd like to see the Pacers win. They've never won one before, you know. Indiana Pacers. But yeah, I got sober. All right. Thank you for stopping by, Rahul. I appreciate it. God bless. God bless. Oh, yeah, I figured they won. They're going to win the series probably. I wanted Indiana to win. What do I think? I wish it would stop. How's that? The Russian and Ukraine war. That's all I can say about that. I hope it stops. I've been to Russia, to be honest. telling you to tell. Truthfully, I've been to Russia. I was there in '93 at St. Petersburg, Russia. I used to be a deckhand on a private yacht called The Other Woman. If you Google The Other Woman, you'll find pictures of the other. It's called The Other Woman. It was a giant motor sailor. Since then, I heard they took the mast off of it. Now it's just a motor. It's just a motorboat, 192 feet. But I was in Russia in '93, right a few years after the Berlin Wall fell, you know, and I had kind of a nice time. It was very scary though. Now I just Google the other woman motor yacht. Idiot. Don't be an idiot. Google The Other Woman motor yacht. All you got to Google on it. And then slide the cursor onto what is it? Pictures or whatever. This what the hell is it called? There's like a bunch of categories you can slide it on. Views or whatever, pictures. Yeah, it was 192 feet. Now, there was a movie called The Other Woman. There was a movie, I think it came out in the 1940s or whatever, or 1960s, who knows, 1960s. That's where he got the name from. The owner of the yacht, his name was Edward Cantor from New Jersey. Not to be confused with Ed Cantor, the jazz musician for the 1930s. Oh, welcome from Chile. Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, I like some of his movies. I don't know what the user are. No, that's Vincenello. Vincenello, the famous power lifter. First man to deadlift over 800 pounds at 200 pounds, under 200 pounds. First man to deadlift 800 pounds. He did 829 at 198 pounds. He broke the record. The old record was 700 pounds. Do I like pro wrestling? I'm kind of in the middle about that. I don't watch it at all. Maybe the old school ones, you know, Hulk Hogan and all that. Not big into it though. I like football, really. I like football. Watch football. But going back to my sobriety, it was definitely a game changer for me. I got sober, like I said, in January 11th of 2015. I was drinking around the clock, alcohol. Girl I was with was also an alcoholic. Do you deadlift in Chuck Taylor shoes? Yeah, I have. Barefoot's fine too. Barefoot's fine. Yeah, I was drinking myself to death pretty much quickly. God, me and her would buy a 12-pack, and then I would slam down 6 of them, and she'd get pissed if I had one of hers. So I'd go out and buy a bottle of vodka and really finish the job, you know. But I've been sober for over a decade, and then she was getting pills also. I would take all her pills, you know. We were living in a little motel in West Frankfort, Illinois. Thoughts on knee sleeves, elbow cuffs, belts. They're all fine. Elbow cuffs I don't use because I try to keep it to the standards of powerlifting. I would stay away from the elbow cuffs unless you have a injury. Definitely wear the sleeves and the belts. I only wear it when I squat, really. You only really need it to squat. Seriously. You can wear it when you bench too, and you can wear it on all 3 lifts if you're. There's a lot of people that get a lot out of it on the deadlift. I don't get anything out of it on the deadlift. Usually less than a second. The pause. Usually it's in RPS. It's you get the lift off, right, and they say start once you have the bar settled in your hands at the top. And then you go down And then as soon as that bar settles on your chest, they're gonna yell start or press actually, and then you press it. It's start, press, racket. There's 3 commands. Not very long though. Usually, if it's more than a second, they're really fucking you over, boy. I'll tell you, they don't like you. If it's more than a second, I had that happen to me once with 355, and I missed it a long time ago. Only squat. I like the squat, but no, I do all 3 lifts. You can't. No, I don't. I don't have. I have an old school squat machine, but it's made for a smaller guy. It was made in like 1960. Yeah, no more than a second. You know, it's just going to be as soon as that bar. If they see the bar wiggling around, they're not going to call press. They want to see that bar stop for just like less than a second, and that you have command over it, and then they're going to say press. I'm also a referee too. I'm a powerlifting referee. I've refereed, and I've been the head referee a couple of times. Gained weight, bulked up 45 pounds this year, and the gain stopped. Just be careful. Don't bulk up too much, man. You know, you don't want to be, you don't want to gain too much weight too fast, you know. Oh, bench shirts are allowed. Will you be doing any collaborations? Yeah, I would like to eventually. Good question. Yeah, bench shirts are allowed. You're in a different category. There's raw. Actually, there's a bunch of categories for a Revolution Powerlifting, what I'm doing on the 12th. There's classic raw, which means nothing on your knees, nothing. And then there's modern raw. You can use sleeves and wraps for your knees. That's what I'm doing, modern raw. And then there is single ply, which is a single ply shirt, multiply, and then there's unlimited. Quarterman. Yeah, there's different. There's different categories, different classes actually. Fuck trans rights. No, I'm just kidding. Goodbye. Don't talk about trannies in this fucking thing. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, the guy was asking me, saying something about that stupid trans bullshit. Yeah, you know what? That's a shame. They had a man dressed up like a woman that competed in Canada and got all the records. Rack pulls, yeah, they're good. Make sure it's below the knee. You don't want to do above the knee. Floor presses are fantastic also. Fantastic, yep. Good accessory for bench. Yeah, rack pulls, I do them below the knee though. Yeah, above the knee is just kind of you don't want to fuck up your equipment by doing that, and you don't get that much out of it above the knee. No, I'm not on anything. No. I don't talk about that too much. You know it's illegal over here anyways, but no, I'm not taking anything, to be honest with you. I knew a guy that was a bodybuilder. This is a true story. Bodybuilder, professional bodybuilder. And he talked about all the shit he was taking on the internet. And fucking within a week, they had the FBI over his house. What is that supposed to mean? Elian, okay. Time of the day. I like to work out. Actually, I work out at different times. If I have a day off, I like to get in here early. I would rather work out, though, at about 5:30 in the afternoon. Thank you. I appreciate it, Dread. I'd rather work out 5:30. Any real early workouts, my digestive system's working and all that shit, you know. It is, right now, it is in the evening now, I guess. Yeah, it's coming up on it. 7 o'clock I would consider evening. It's 6:50 here. Yeah, I was just talking about that, though. There was this professional bodybuilder, and he was announcing all this shit he was taking, right? Tren and all that shit. he talked about it online, and by next thing you know, he had the fucking FBI kicking his door in. Yeah, you're better off. No, I like to have some energy. I'll eat something like 45 minutes before I work out. Some kind of prep. I like to some kind of like carbohydrates. You know what I mean? Want something to give you some energy. No, I don't work out fasted. I'll end up passing. To be honest, I have like a something with me that if I don't have a little sugar or whatever, I end up getting very lightheaded. I get lightheaded. I'll end up passing out in here if I did. Yeah, some carbs. I got to have plenty of energy when I work out, man. I'm a pretty big guy, and it takes a lot of energy to move me. So I got to take in a lot of stuff to make energy. And I don't eat any garbage cereal and all that shit. Like, you know what I had before I worked out today? I had some grape nut cereal mixed in with 25 grams of protein, blueberries and strawberries cut up on top of that, and my little pre-workout. That was it. That's what I had. What I do like is organic yogurt with fruit cut up in it. Breakfast, I have a whole shitload of eggs, man. Eggs. And I have organic toast with it usually. Like toast. And I do like to have some sausage or whatever. Not sausage or bacon sometimes. Yeah, that's what I have though for my pre-workout meal. It's usually, I love having one banana, a banana, right? Banana's perfect. And I like a thing of yogurt, some yogurt mixed in with some berries, and I also mix my protein powder with it. Hello, how you doing? Dinner varies a lot. My fiance buys mostly organic beef, and I can tell the difference. Exactly, chicken, steak, and very little pork, not very much pork. Mostly chicken and steak, though, I'll have. Now, if you have a clean pork, it's all right, but I'm not really... and fish also. I eat a lot of fish. Just 2 days ago, we had salmon and shrimp, This weekend, coming up, we're going to have some scallops. Yeah, I taste the difference. It's better, yeah. Better. Yeah. I find it tastes better. I feel better when I eat it. I feel better. You can tell, your body will tell you if you're eating shit. If you go try having a a double quarter pounder and large fries and a Diet Coke or a Coke or whatever. Tell me how you feel for after that, And then we have a place, it's called Tropical Smoothie. That's the best fast food around. Now I'll go get a chicken Baja wrap there, and I'll get a peanut butter smoothie, and I'll feel like $1 million after eat it with all kinds of energy. Yeah, I love all that. Shrimp, scallops, oysters, my favorite, yeah. Close, 20-inch guns, probably about 19 and a half, maybe, 19. Yeah, it's the best seafood. I actually moved away to Florida now. They had pretty good seafood there, like the local mahi or dolphin or yellowfin tuna is pretty good, and grouper. But really, it's the best here, though. We have a very large Portuguese community who are, and Norwegian also. They're great fishermen, man. Great fishermen. They have some fantastic restaurants here, seafood restaurants. Yeah, crab cakes are good. Yeah, and fish cakes, all of that stuff's good. I love the seafood. I went to Norway for a month. Loved the seafood over in Norway. I lived there for 16 years. It was good and bad. A lot of my addiction was in Florida. The good times was when my family lived there, and I was able to stay sober. And there was 4 periods where I had 1 year, but I never got more than a year and a half or less than that. I would go back out and end up losing everything, and then getting a year, and then lose everything again. West Palm Beach, Florida, 16 years, that area. Lantana, Lake Worth, Where else? I also lived in Riviera Beach. A lot of it was time. It was okay, you know, when I was sober. Like anything else. My experience in Southern. Then I lived in Southern Illinois for about 7 or 8 years. Was it 7 or 8? I moved to Southern Illinois in about 2012. Let me see how long it was. It may not have even been that long. 17, so 13, 14, 15, 16, 7, 5 years. 5 years, man. Yeah, Delray Beach, very nice there. Very nice. Lantana is the next city north of. I lived there my last couple of years of my addiction, and we ended up moving from Lantana to Southern Illinois. And boy, those first few years in Southern Illinois were hell, man. I'm gonna say it might have been 2011 when I moved to Southern Illinois. I'll have to look that up for sure. You know how I can remember how I remember dates from where I was. It's pretty weird. I look up. I can remember the songs that were on the radio. The songs that were on the radio at that time is how I can pinpoint what date it was. You know. Oh, very hot there. Yeah, I didn't like that part of it. I like having a little bit of the Four Seasons. Very humid heat. Very humid. Miserable heat. I don't really like it. Like that part of it, you know. I like having the Four Seasons here, and it's the winters are pretty mild here, you know. There was not one day where work was closed. I worked down in Cape Cod. We didn't have one weather day where we had to. Hope your day is winding down, Brentley. And oh, thank you, I appreciate it, Kareem. Yeah, it's going okay. I'll probably eat something in a little while. Yep. Was I in Nam? No, I'm not that old. Not that much snow, Philistine fan. Phillies fan. Okay, Phillies. Okay, why am I saying my eyes aren't that good? Yeah, man, Phillies, that's a great team. How about that 1980s Phillies team, man? God, that was a great team. Yeah, they are changing. I bet you have pretty mild weathers there, don't you, in Philly? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I look like the guy with the banner on there. 1980 Phillies in 2000. Right. Yeah, man, I remember that. I was in 6th grade in 1980 when they won it all there. It might have been the summer. Yeah, they won it all. Pete Rose was on the team. Mike Schmidt, Gary Maddox, Steve Carlton. God, who else was on that team? Steve Carlton was on that team. Gary Maddox. Boy, what a great team that was, man. Who else was on that team? Mike Schmidt, third baseman. Right. Famous. There was also a famous second baseman too. Can't remember his name though. I only remember Steve Carlton was a pitcher. I know they had some other great pitchers on that team. They had to have to win the World Series, you know. Boy, yeah, what a great team though. I think Greg Luzinski might have been on that team too. Yeah, very minimal. You know what? Same thing here. Very minimal snow where I'm at. Now, if you go further west in Massachusetts, that's where they get all the snow. I'm near the coast, and when it starts to, it'll start snowing, and then it turns right to rain. Yeah, the Bull, Greg Luzinski, man. Yeah, if he didn't get injured so young, he probably would have made the. What did I eat today? Geez, eggs. I had a bowl of cereal, very grape nuts with a bunch of fruit, and a lot of protein drinks. That's about it, man. That's it. Well, for lunch I had a turkey sandwich and a protein drink. I think that's what I had. Yeah. Larry Boa, the second baseman. Right. Very good, man. Fantastic second baseman. Mike Schmidt was the third baseman. I believe Pete was first base. I forgot who was shortstop. Hey, welcome to my channel. We talk about anything that's positive, man. Anything positive. Pretty good bench workout tonight. 315 for 8 at the end of my workout. Great player, man. Fantastic player. Charlie Hustle, man. I don't know if anybody will beat that hit record, man. 10 seasons in a row. Yeah, 315 for 8 was my last set. I did 385 for a pause rep, 365 for a pause rep before that. Yeah, and 315 was all paused. They were paused on the chest and, a competition pause and full lockout. Oh, welcome. Yeah, I'm on. It's really nice weather lately here. Yeah, I'm sure the coast is nice in Maine, even in the winter. Same thing here. We got the ocean effect. Yeah, this is North Dighton. What about Dorian Yates? Dorian Yates is was a great bodybuilder from England. Won six Mr. Olympias. Yeah, Maine has great lobsters. Yeah, 1-6 Mr. Olympia's. Probably the last, Ronnie Coleman was great, but I kind of lost interest at when Donald. The drugs got too much after that during the middle of Dorian Yates' reign as Mr. Olympia. I know that for a fact because I was friends with a somewhat very good amateur bodybuilder, and he told me that everybody was starting to take human growth hormone. Everybody was on a mass load of steroids. Of course, they always have been, but they started the human growth hormone. Then he told me they added insulin to it. And he also told me all the big boys were injecting synthol in their arms and shoulders. The synthol oil. Flex Wheeler definitely did. All right, you're getting blocked, buddy. How much shit do I have? I have enough shit to drop on your head. How's that? How do I stay sober? I don't drink. That's how I stay sober. No, how I stay sober, in the beginning, I went to a lot of AA meetings, and I just kept it 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, and then 1 day at a time. I didn't drink. And a lot of meetings, you know what I mean? I got sober and I was locked up for 10 and a half months. So I was forced into sobriety at first, although I could have gotten stuff in there. You have to have a decision in your head that you are done with that kind of life if you have a problem with alcohol. You have to make a decision that it causes. I don't know about John Cena. I don't really care about the guy. Sorry about that, but no. Yeah, you have to have a decision, make a decision that your life had become unmanageable when you with alcohol and drugs. Let's keep it to alcohol. All right, you have to have it has to be in your head, and the idea has to be smashed that you can drink successfully. That's the first step. Does this actually work? Yes, it does work for marijuana also. And then you have to believe in the power. You don't have to, but I suggest you find a power that's greater than yourself. And don't just say a doorknob, because a doorknob's not a power greater than yourself. Even if it's the universe. I'm a Christian, so it's Christ. That's my higher power. I found a higher power. And every morning I ask my higher power to take the desire and the cravings away from me from alcohol and drugs. And he does take that away from me every day on a daily basis. I don't have cravings anymore. I've got a life now that's second to none. I'm going to have to take Israel on that because Iran's, I don't want to see them build a nuclear weapon. Believe me, I know some Iranian people. They're wonderful people, but the regime is horrible. So I'm going to take Israel on that. Sorry if I offend anybody, but that's the truth for me. I'm going to take Israel. I've been to Israel, actually. There's beautiful people there also. I'm just not good. I'm not for that damn regime that they have. I think they need to topple it, so the wonderful people can live a normal life there, you know. But anyways, yeah, you have to have a higher power, or I have. Let me tell you, I have to. You know what? I have to change it to I. There's people that can do it their own way if they want, but myself, I had to find a higher power. Mine's Christ, and I had to turn my will and my life over to Him. You have to have the idea smashed that you can drink successfully. I knew I couldn't drink successfully anymore without getting into trouble. And that's basically it. You got to have that higher power. You know, you got. They suggest you work with a sponsor and do the steps. I never really did that. Okay, I suggest you do it if you're really an alcoholic and an addict. I suggest you do it, but I didn't do it, so I can't. You know, that's not. It's something that's open for me. I could probably. I haven't shut the idea down that I might do that. Actually, I should do it. You know, get a sponsor and all that. But what I've been doing so far has been working for over 10 years, you know. The most important thing, too, once you get sober, even if you have a couple of days of sobriety, there's somebody that only has an hour of sobriety, share your experience, strength, and help, you know, like I'm doing right now. This is called 12-step work, what I'm doing right now. Tell that person they never have to feel like that again. You never have to if you're an addict and an alcoholic. What changed since you became sober other than stopping? Okay, when I got sober, January 11th, 2015, I was living in this little motel. My family had cut me off. It was $130 a night. I was living with another alcoholic. We got into an argument. The police came. I had warrants in two different counties. Arrested, and I ended up going to jail. I got extradited to another county. Okay, when some of my last few months of drinking, I was homeless in a homeless shelter. I got kicked out of there. I had nowhere to go. This is how low my bottom got. I got kicked out of a homeless shelter, slept on a couch for a couple of days, got kicked off of there, a couch of an acquaintance of mine. I actually called 911, the police, because I was out in the cold and I had nowhere to go, and told them and lied to them and told them I was going to kill myself. I told them I wanted to commit suicide to get out of the cold. That's where alcohol took me. When I got out of lockup, and I had 10 and a half months of sobriety, and when I got out of lockup, I had nothing but the shirt on my back. I had no friends, and I had no family left at all. I had nothing left at all. I got $20 from the state. That was all the money I had. I did not have a job. Okay, now I didn't have my license either. No job, no car. I had nowhere to live except I got put into a halfway house. Christianity, is it okay to, yes, it's okay to drink alcohol socially. I'm talking about myself, man. I don't condemn alcohol at all. You know, really, alcohol wasn't really my problem. It was a symptom of my problem. I was the problem. Other people can drink normally. My whole family does, you know. Alcoholics are probably about 15% of the population, you know. The other 85% can probably drink normally. So I was the problem. But anyways, I got kicked out of, like I said, I ended up going to the nut house because I had nowhere else to go. And like I said, when I got locked up finally, it was out of I was living, when I got locked up, I went from a homeless shelter to this little motel for a while with the girlfriend I had at the time. We actually, wait a minute, we didn't come right out of the homeless shelter. We came from a homeless shelter, me and her. We ended up living outside in the woods for a month. Then we got the motel. That's how it went. So I went from homeless shelter, living outside for a month. Then we got enough money together to get this motel. It was $130 a week. I got arrested. I went to jail. I got out 10 and a half months later. I had nothing left, a shirt on my back. I was smoking like 2.5 packs a day. Hello, Bug Allan. This is former UFC pioneer Mark the Hammer Coleman. No, sorry, buddy. Goodbye. Get a job. That's what I had to do. Trips is all right, man. Yep, he's all right. I've known Trips for about 8 years. I like him. He's made videos all about me, funny videos. No harm done. No harm done. He's just a funny guy, you know. Funny guy, you know, and he's also he makes some funny videos. Actually, keeps me laughing. Laughing's good medicine. I like him. But if you don't like him, that's okay. That's fine. Okay, so I got out of there, right? Like, my family started talking to me in the halfway I was in when I got out of prison. So I had about, my sister started talking to me. I had a little more than a year of sobriety. I have 10 years and 6 months right now. Sister started talking. I had a little inheritance, $1,000 a month at that time, that she had cut me off before. Anyways, that helped. And I got a job also in the halfway house. So I started putting my life together, you know, basically slowly but surely. I got my license back at about 2 years of sobriety. Got my license back, 2 years of sobriety. I met this girl named Tina. She was a Hawaiian girl in Southern Illinois. We moved in together. At about 2.5 years of sobriety, we broke up, and I moved back to where I'm from, which is southeastern Massachusetts. There was nothing there for me. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Daniel. There was nothing left for me in Southern Illinois. I didn't grow up there. I didn't really have any. I had good friends there from being sober. Yeah, my life started getting better when I got sober, automatically. How many people on here? Sorry, I can't see very good here. 7 people, all right. But anyways, yeah, my life got better very quickly when I got sober, you know. I started changing. I started working out pretty much right away in prison. The weights were welded together. I got up to, I was in my late 40s when I started working out. My late 40s when I first started working out. My first time I benched, it was 195 for 5 on the bench. It was a welded weight. It was 195. I remember that. Yeah, it was a 45 plate, a quarter, and a 5 on each side. Something like that. Yeah, that's what it was. A quarter and a 5 welded on the bar. It was a place called Taylorville Correction. So I started working out pretty much right away when I got sober, you know. In county jail first. You always go to county jail first before you go to prison. I did a lot of calisthenics and stuff. Yeah, and I joined a gym when I got out of when I was in the halfway house for 3 months. I didn't join a gym. I didn't have any money, you know, pretty much. Once I got out of that halfway house, I moved to a motel that was across the street from it for a little while before I met Tina. I joined a gym right away, and then when me and Tina got together, we moved to a place called Mount Vernon, Illinois, and I joined a YMCA in Mount Vernon, Illinois. Started getting stronger and stronger. I remember getting close to 300 pounds on the bench there. And then I got injured for a little while. I hurt, I forgot if it was the right or left side pectoral injury. Nothing serious though, not a tear or anything. So I stopped benching for a little while. Then I joined a gym. Then we moved in together. We moved back to where her mother lived in a place called Carmine, Illinois, which is very close to God, what's the name of that place there in Indiana? I can't think of the name of the city. Evansville, Indiana, that's it. I moved to Evansville, Indiana. I didn't move to Evansville, Indiana. Carmine, Illinois was like 30 miles from Evansville, Indiana. But yeah, we moved in there, and we ended up breaking up after, I remember, it was almost exactly at 2.5 years of sobriety. It was in July, just before July 4th. We broke up. She wanted me out of the house. We weren't getting along anymore. There was nothing real major, no smoking gun. We just weren't getting along. So I ended up moving back to Massachusetts. Actually, I moved to Rhode Island, where my sister lives, for a little while. And I was going to meetings the whole time. I stayed sober the whole time through all of that stuff. Hey, welcome, Jackie. Welcome, Jackie Walgreens. How you doing? I stayed sober through all that stuff. We broke up. It was devastating at first, but then it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah, that's fine. You can drink what you want. This is not a channel where I condemn people for drinking. I don't drink anymore because I can't, and I love my sober lifestyle. Yeah, I don't do it. I can't put it down. So I don't care. If someone can drink, my hats go out to them. God bless you. I wish, if I could, you know what? I don't even wish I could drink normally. I love my life the way it is right now. You know that? I don't care about alcohol. I don't even think about it, to be honest with you. Nope. Yep, I don't care about alcohol. It doesn't bother me. People can drink whatever the hell they want. They can drink whatever they want. It does not bother me in the least bit. I'll go to the liquor store for you and buy you alcohol. I won't hang out with you if you drink alcoholically, though. I will excuse myself or tell you you got to go. If you drink socially, I'm fine with it. I don't, yep. Yeah, if you drink socially, I'm fine with it. If you get obnoxiously drunk, I don't want to be I won't even be around you. Not yet, no. I will have to check that out. Red clay straws, okay. Red clay straws. Yeah, I don't care. This is, alcohol was only a symptom of my problem, of an underlying problem. It wasn't my main problem. I was my main problem. The strays, okay. The red clay strays. Yeah, alcohol and drugs was just a symptom of an underlying problem that I had. It's low self-esteem, drinking because I hated myself pretty much. It made me feel better for temporarily, my problem was me and low self-esteem, for one thing. I never felt adequate, even as a child at the time. I'd have to say low self-esteem was a major one. I didn't really like myself at all. Trying to fit in with people. Depression. I stopped drinking. I got locked up and got forced to stop drinking, and then I decided I didn't want to go back to that lifestyle anymore, so I stopped drinking completely. Hey, how's it going there? How's it going? Jabari. Home City, North Dayton, Massachusetts, 40 miles outside of Boston, southeast coast of Massachusetts. I got I got arrested for several things. One of the main thing was under 5 grams of methamphetamine. 5 grams of methamphetamine. I was put on probation for that, and I never went to probation officer. I ended up taking off. Yep, and I missed my court date. I got put on probation for it. They were going to drop the charge, but I never finished it. So I ended up getting locked up. I got locked up first when I got caught with it, though. All it was a pipe they found that I forgot that was up in my ceiling tile in the motel. I had an apartment, actually, at the time. No, I don't do anything, Jackie. Nothing. 0 mind-altering drugs. I'm not. They call that California sober. I don't believe in that. If someone else can do it, that's fine. I don't need anything. I don't need anything to make me feel better. I feel good the way I am. They tore the whole place apart. They raided my house because they thought I was making meth in there, which I wasn't. Well, actually, we were going to make it the night after that, the next day. They knocked on the door and they were going to kick the door in, but we let them in before they kicked the door in. They raided the place. That's what they do when they raid your place. Who snitched? Actually, someone that I was living with named Jackie, a fat redheaded girl. She was living with her boyfriend in my place temporarily. She snitched on us. It was on the motion of discovery, actually. Okay, I'm going to block you. It's not underwear, asshole. Actually, let's keep you around for a while. This guy's a fucking asshole. We're saying that a bandana is underwear. Hey, Wee Beanie, what's up, brother? No roof problems, bud. No roof problems. Actually, this shed's only about 9 years old, and got a brand new roof on the house, brand spanking new. Okay, random. Random is gone. This is not LGBT night, guys. Sorry. All right. I don't give out money like I have money to give out. Her name was also Jackie. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Her name was Jackie. That's right. You know what? It was the best thing that ever happened to me. Best thing that ever happened to me was getting locked up, because I stopped using and I got a life second to one. None now. I got over 40 different records in powerlifting. I'm in 2 different powerlifting Hall of Fames. No roof problems here. No, I could put up some drywall though in here. That's about it though. Yeah, it helped me out a hell of a lot, man. Yeah, God did rescue me. That was the way he rescued me, because I kind of I would say spit in God's face for a while. Like, he gave me a lot of chances, and I didn't take them. So he gave me this one last chance, boy, and it was there was a real good price to pay for that chance, The chance of his last chance was sending me to lockup for a little while, I was 46 years old and I turned 47 in prison. Yeah, tell him to wear his underwear on his mouth. That's right. Yeah, it's just a bandana. That's all. It's no big deal. It's a bandana. That's all. See, it's my good luck bandana. That's all. Yeah. Yeah, these live streams are pretty fun, though, Would have gone, okay, what do you think would have been God's retribution had you not? I would have died. I wouldn't be here, and I would have died drunk. I would have died drunk. Yes, welcome. Are you from England? I've been to England twice. Beautiful country. Yeah, London twice. First time was in 1976, and the second time was in 93. I actually have a picture of me at Buckingham Palace at that statue in the little roundabout in the same place. Allan, sometimes I feel like I won't wake up. Yep, that's how I was. I wouldn't wake up in the morning. I would be dead right now. There's no question about it. I would be dead. I would never have accomplished what I have accomplished. 2 different Hall of Fames, powerlifting, over 40 different records. My own little gym here, nice little house. I have a fiance. I'm 57 years old. South Coast directly due south, 100 clicks. Yep, it's not that far. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I've actually sailed across the Atlantic. Doesn't drink of London. Yeah, London's beautiful. Yeah, I love London. I got a picture of a Big Ben. I lost a lot during my addiction. I had tons of pictures of London, but I lost most of them. Yeah, for me, drinking was a losing proposition for me. My life never got better; it got worse. Jason Blaha. Yeah, he doesn't drink also, I know. I know who Jason Blaha is. Thank you. Yeah, I had a very good bench workout tonight. My best 2 sets was 385 pause rep, 385 pounds. I don't know what that is in kilograms. 385 is in kilograms. And then I did 3 plates or 315 for 8 perfect pause reps with a full extension. Yeah. I've done 10 reps paused with 315 in the last year. And just a touch and go, I've done 13 reps with 315. Just last year I did 405. What was your biggest fear you overcame? Going to prison and going to court not knowing what I was going to get was probably the biggest fear I ever had when I went to prison. Also, being homeless was a very big fear at the time. What have to do? Losing weight. All you got to do is cut the carbs and sugar out of your diet. Clean up your diet. Weight loss is in the kitchen. Weight loss happens in the kitchen. That's where it happens, you know. And do some cardio also. Cheeseburger or pizza, both. I like both of them, depending on if I had it too much in a row, I liked one or the other. Oh, fantastic. Good job, man. 325 for 3. That's great. Bench press? Yes, I relate to that one. I'm glad that you're a free man again, enjoying life. Much respect. Thank you, my friend from Ireland. Oxygen. I would love to go to Ireland. I have a lot of heritage from Ireland. A lot of my heritage is from Ireland, Scotland. Mr. Denting works how much? MR Denting works how much walking you do. I don't know what that means. I walk to the bathroom. How's that at night? No, walking is very good. I'm just kidding. I have a trampoline I use. Yeah, it won't happen, Jackie. You'll never have a beer with me because I don't drink. I already went through that with you, man. I already told you that for about an hour. I've been talking about that. Yeah, it's not going to happen, buddy. I'm sorry. Yeah. What is this? Oh, my battery's already going dead here. Yeah, I would stop drinking if I was you, you know. Yeah, every day is not good. You don't want to die a lonely, miserable death, you know. We're all going to die someday, but... oh, yeah, no, I used to drink in the morning also. Yeah, I would love to go to Ireland. Yeah, it's definitely that, and Scotland maybe, you know, both of them. Do both of them, man. Go to Ireland, then go to Scotland. I've already been to England twice, you know. Yeah, been to England twice. I've been to all the Scandinavian countries, but Iceland. I also have a Scandinavian heritage also. So yeah, I'm a melting pot guy. Irish, Polish even. My grandmother was Polish. One grandmother was 100% Irish. And then my grandfather's, one was Scottish. And for some reason, the Scottish shows up as Scandinavian. That's because the Vikings were in the Highlands of Scotland, all over Scotland. You know, the Vikings. So it shows up as Scandinavian, the DNA. Yes, Allan Masters, right. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a squat night. Tomorrow is going to be squats. I'm probably going to set up for that in a minute here. Yeah, Scandinavia is beautiful. I went to Norway for a month. That's where I stayed the longest, up to Bergen, Norway, all the way down the coast, all the way to Oslo. And then we stopped in Gotland, Sweden. It's an island off of Sweden. I've heard of J Masters and Big Lenny. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of countryside. Yeah, we went to Gotland, Sweden, and then from there we went to St. Petersburg, Russia, for a little while in the Baltic. That was amazing, you know. Actually, tell that story on my channel somewhere about my trouble I got into in Russia. Yeah, during the Goodwill Games, they used to have the Goodwill Games. I was walking downtown in St. Petersburg, Russia, completely wasted, and the police saw me staggering around. It was during the Goodwill Games, so there was people everywhere. I remember seeing big hot air balloons flying. The Goodwill Games, they don't have them anymore. They were like the Olympic Games. But I was staggering around St. Petersburg, Russia, completely wasted, and the cops told me to sit on a bench and sober up. Yeah, okay, Jackie. I don't want to really talk about getting high anymore. That's over with, bud. I told you my experience I had with it already. It's over. Weed was never my drug of choice. It was more alcohol and opioid pills and Xanax. Okay, that'll end that one. But anyways, I was staggering around St. Petersburg, and they told me to sit on this bench outside the police station downtown. So I sat there for a while, and I guess something must have happened in the crowd of the Goodwill Games, because they left from watching me on this bench, and I got up and ran. I got up and ran from the cops. I think they were chasing me. I don't know. It was kind of, Bob Ripley has requested to follow you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was getting chased by the cops that I thought I might not have been. I don't even know. Probably was getting chased by them. But I ended up running what seemed like miles and miles. And I was lost the whole night. I couldn't find. I was in a really bad way, man, really drunk. And I finally found the yacht again that I was on. It took me in the morning. I didn't find it until the morning, the yacht I was on. So I ran away from the cops, staggering around. Ended up down in the basement of some guy's house. And I bought a beer. We both drank a beer or whatever. I ended up leaving there. It's like little gray areas I remember. And then I ended up finding there was another cop. I thought he was going to arrest me or whatever, but he was nice. He bought me breakfast, and he could speak English. He told me where the yacht was, and I was staggering around looking for the yacht, and sometimes it was only 100 yards away from me, you know. I ended up in Russia. I worked as a deckhand on a 192-foot motor sail, a rich, very rich man. That was one of our places we went. So I was working, I was getting paid. So from Russia, we ended up taking off from Russia. We went to Helsinki, Finland. This is all in '93. We were overseas for almost a year. So we ended up in Helsinki for about a week. And after that, we went to Stockholm, Sweden for a little while, the capital of Sweden, I think. And then from Sweden, we went to Copenhagen, Denmark, and drinking all the way there, boy. I quit drinking for about 5 days after I got in trouble in Russia. Boy, that should have straightened my ass out. That little trouble I got. No, he wasn't in office. It was Yeltsin, I think. I'm pretty sure. 1993. You know, Putin wasn't around then. He wasn't president anyways. Yeah, I ended up, we went to Copenhagen, and then we went to, back to Amsterdam. We already went there once on the way there for a while. And from there, Amsterdam, we stopped off at Gibraltar, the Rock of Gibraltar, a little British colony. Stayed there for a while. I had fun on Gibraltar. Drinking, of course. Yeah. And I walked across to Spain. Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun. I ended up walking across it only takes 20 minutes to walk across Gibraltar, and you're in Spain, The airport is the border. You have to show your passport as you go through the airport to get over to Spain. And yeah, you have to go. I got the job through Worldwide Yachting Yacht Crew Agency. Yeah, that's how I got that job. Yep, exactly. I got it out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Actually, Palm Beach, Florida. That's where the yacht was at. Australian Docks, Palm Beach, Florida. We went from Palm Beach, Florida. Here's the whole trip. We went from Palm Beach, Florida, to St. Augustine, Florida, or close to that. Pretty close to the Georgia border, to a shipyard there. Then we did a little refitting there in the engine room and all that. From there, we went to let's think here. We went to, where did we go? Oh, Newport, Rhode Island. From Newport, Rhode Island, we sailed across the Atlantic and went right to, oh God, I'm trying to think of the name of the place in England. Southampton, England. No, you wouldn't want to drink in South. You end up going to prison for life if you drank in North Korea like that. Ended up going to London. And then from London, we went across the English Channel to Amsterdam. From Amsterdam, we spent a month in Amsterdam. Boy, my addiction was 1,000-fold in Amsterdam. Yeah, it's pretty quiet there. We found this one bar in Southampton. They knew we were Americans who were going to spend a lot of money or whatever. Very friendly guy that owned this bar. He pulled all the shit. We were the whole crew was there, right? Welcome, Sam 45. I'm telling the story about Southampton. Boy, what a crazy tide there. It's one of the highest and lowest in history in the world. The biggest tide is in the Bay of Fundy, I believe, Nova Scotia. This is the English Channel, though. Yeah, the English Channel. But anyways, this guy had owned the bar. See, they have to close at a certain time every day. I forgot what time. It's a very early, though. They have the law there. That he would roll the damn shit, and our whole crew would continue drinking all night there. And we'd have to quiet down if he saw the bobbies walking down the street. He let us drink there all night. Yeah, he pulled the shades down. I forgot what time. I think they have to close at like 10 or something. London's a whole different